Okay, everybody, before we get started, I just have one thing I need to say.
It's time! Can we not? I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing
What is up, everyone? Welcome to It's Been a Week. I'm your host, Ben McDonald, and this is your weekly dose of whatever the hell just happened.
Okay, everyone, the time has come. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. It is Christmas time. It is officially time. Mariah Carey is defrosted and it's time for Christmas. And I'm so sick and tired of people being like, it's too early. It's too this. Fuck off. I spent all week, actually. AJ was out of town. And I was like, okay, I'm not going out for Halloween this year because AJ's gone. What am I going to do? Just like dress up and go out by myself? So I was like, I'm going to chill at home. And I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? Because it takes me like 3 days to set up for Christmas. I mean, our trees, I'm not trying to brag, but our trees are not your average, like basic bitch Christmas tree. Like my trees they're next level. My trees are next level. I invest a lot of money and a lot of time, and they are, dare I say, spectacular? Because they are. I mean, they're amazing. So for me, it takes days to set this up because there's multiple trees in the house. There is, the kitchen above the cabinets is decorated. There's a village. The mantle is decorated. There is giant balls hanging from our ceiling. Like, I go all out for Christmas. And everyone it's amazing how many people get so worked up about my home for Christmas. Like, if you want to wait till fucking after Thanksgiving, have at it. You are more than welcome to do whatever the hell you want. Well, I don't believe in decorating for Thanksgiving. What am I going to do? Put a fucking cornucopia out? Like, what? No. And Thanksgiving, here's my other thing with Thanksgiving. It is like it's my least favorite holiday. Not because I'm not thankful. I'm very thankful. But I don't really enjoy the food, like maybe some mashed potatoes, I guess. I don't know. I'm not about that dry ass turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce. Like it's not my food palette. So I don't get that excited for Thanksgiving. I think it's just like such lackluster compared to Christmas. Christmas is amazing. But for those of you that are all on the Thanksgiving train, I can very happily eat Thanksgiving food while sitting next to my Christmas tree. It doesn't ruin my Thanksgiving. So yeah, but it's amazing how many people really get all up in my DMs. Like, it's too early it doesn't affect you. Why do you care? Christmas is such a magical, fun, it's so cozy. It's so pretty. It's just like, who doesn't like Christmas? And listen, even if you're like Jewish and you don't celebrate Christmas, I think you can appreciate the decor and the whimsical and the magic of Christmas. Am I wrong? Because I don't celebrate Christmas to be like, oh, it's Jesus's birthday. I'm celebrating it because it's like, it's cute and fun and I want my house to look like a Hallmark movie. You know what I'm saying? So I spent all week decorating for Christmas, and I make it such a I take my 3 days and I wake up and I go get a coffee, and then I go on my TV and I just play like the best Christmas playlist, and it's a whole experience. It's so much fun. It's not a chore or a job to me. It's like I get to transform our house into this magical winter wonderland. So whether you like it or not, Christmas season is here, and it is just, I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. So I had a great week, though. I decorated for Christmas, and this last weekend, we were at our friend's birthday. We went on this party bus, which I somehow, and I'm not sure how or really why, but I performed Defying Gravity on this party bus, and there was no stripper pole. There was no handles, and I somehow soared above everyone. I got up on the couches and I was hanging from the ceiling of this bus as we're going 70 miles an hour down the freeway, performing Defying Gravity. So I was partly impressed, partly how did I do that? Partly why did I do that? There's a lot of emotions attached to that, but you know what? It was a great time. And that was the weekend. I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you set up your Christmas tree. I hope you deck the halls. I hope you go get a gingerbread cookie and some hot chocolate and whatever else you got to do to get in the Christmas spirit. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and let's get into it. All right, everyone. So this week's guest is are you from Granbury?
No, I've lived here since 2012.
Okay, so a 2012 Granburian. Mr. Shane, welcome to It's Been a Week.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
How's your week been?
Started it out Sunday, started feeling sick, running a fever, all that good stuff. Finally broke that night before last, so the week's getting better, definitely.
I feel like it's going around because, I don't know, Texas is so dramatic and the weather has gone from 80 to like 40 degrees overnight. So I think everyone's kind of getting sick.
Yeah, it's crazy how windy it is today and everything. We had a softball game last night in Weatherford my daughter was playing in, and I mean, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they played in this wind.
Yeah, the wind, I mean, everything outside is getting knocked down, but, you know, welcome to Texas.
Yep, I'm happy for the cooler weather. I'm not complaining.
I will take the cold weather any day over the heat. Like, because here's the thing with cold weather, you can put a jacket on, you can put a sweater on, you can escape.
Yes.
When it's 120 and you're sweating your balls off, there's nothing you can do.
You're stuck.
No.
Yeah, just walk into the car, you're sweating.
Even like going in the summer here in Texas, you sometimes going in the pool, it's like it's not even that refreshing.
No,
like,
the water's warm.
Yeah. I'm like, this sucks. And I like my house, I keep it at 68 degrees 365 days out of the year.
Nice.
I'm like, I will not. If your house is over 72 degrees, I'm like, don't invite me over to your terrarium.
Shay would kill me if I put it on 68. She's freezing all the time.
I run hot. Like at night,
same.
like I'm like a furnace. Like so I sleep. Our house is 68 degrees. I have a fan blowing on me.
Have to. It's a must.
And I have Alexa playing a severe thunderstorm just so that I can feel like I'm outside in a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I even in the like holiday season, I'll turn the fireplace on like for the ambiance and for the look, but I have the air conditioning running.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just there. The electric fireplace is going simply to make it look cool.
No,
I'm
I think
not
ours
putting
is
the heat on.
gas.
Oh,
So it's like actually heating. I'm actually heating the house
They're
while
just
air
fighting
conditioning.
each other.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, totally. Funny enough, is I actually have known your wife before I knew you, Miss Shaylee. Shout out Shaylee. She's been cutting AJ and I's hair, I think, pretty much since we moved here.
Yes, definitely. Because what's funny is when I finally ended up meeting y'all, it wasn't even through my wife. I met AJ on the RLG committee because he was our speaker at our conference. And he sat down and he shook my hand and he was like, Shane. And I was like, yes, sir. He goes, this isn't it. He started rattling things off that he knew about me. He'd already known me practically for 2 or 3 years now. And he was like, but we've never met. Shaylee's cut my hair for years. And so it was like, y'all already knew me.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember her like when you guys first got together, and she was like telling me. But then I took a little break from getting my hair cut because I grew my hair out so
When I met you, it was long.
long. I was like, Jesus. And now I'm back to cutting my hair short again. So now I'm seeing her again every 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
So what did you meet AJ at?
We met, it was a Rising Leaders of Granbury committee meeting. We were talking to a few different people to see who we wanted our speaker to be for the conference we did.
Okay.
And it was at the pub, McDonough downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, he walked in and we got to know him a little bit. And obviously we picked him to be our speaker.
It's kind of his element.
Yeah, it was pretty unanimous. So.
Yeah. So you, like, I feel like every time I see you or I hear about you, like, you're very involved in the community.
Yes, sir.
So what, like, I don't know, you're obviously a better person than me because I'm not involved in anything with the community, but like how did you get involved and why do you have your hands in so many different pots here?
It's funny, you know, I never pictured myself being in a role like this. I really didn't. It wasn't the plan. One, I suck at saying no. So
See, I'm really good at saying no. People ask
That's
me for
part of
shit
it.
all the time, and I'm like, no.
I need to work on that.
I have no problem being no. I'm like the opposite of a people pleaser.
Oh, nice.
I'm just like, no, it's not going to work.
My thing is, I didn't have the greatest childhood growing up with my dad and that whole side of the family because originally I'm from Louisiana.
Okay.
So one of the best decisions my mom ever made for us was her and my dad split when I was younger, and she moved us to, I joke and tell people, but I think it's true. She just closed her eyes and picked a place on the map, and we moved to Breckenridge, Texas. Small town, nothing there. There's a lake. It's about an hour from Abilene. So I ended up growing up out there.
That's kind of like middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like West Texas?
We'd have to drive an hour to go see a movie.
Wow.
Yeah. And go school clothes shopping.
AJ and I, we also kind of blindly picked Granbury. Like, we had never been to Texas. We had no idea where we were going, what we were doing. Luckily, we picked a town that's,
Oh yeah.
pretty civilized.
It's funny how things end up working out. But yeah, I didn't have the greatest childhood, so I've always kids are special to me. Like if it involves kids and I can help or be part of it, I'm probably gonna say yes. So that's kind of how it happened. I moved to Texas, or moved to Granbury after college. I just got my degree in finance, and my district manager was like, "Okay, are you ready to be a banker?" And I was like, "Sure." And he goes, "Okay, cool. I need you to move to Granbury in 2 weeks." Never even heard of Granbury. So I was married before, so my wife at the time, we moved to Granbury within 2 weeks, and we stayed in. My parents had a motorhome at the time, so we parked it at one of the RV spots here, and I moved here and got to going on my career as a banker. We shortly after that had our twin girls, and I really wasn't involved like the first few years I lived here. I didn't have time. I mean, with twins around the clock, I was on daddy duty, so I didn't get out much and do anything. And then I went through Leadership Granbury, and my class leader, who's now like family to me, she's one of my best friends, Paige. She was like, "Hey, we're having a nonprofit day, but I really want you to come and see if you want to get involved with Hood County Christmas for Children." She was like, "I'm a board member on it. I love doing it. Like, it's one of my favorite things." And I was like, "Okay, I'll come check it out." So I hopped on the board and I got involved that year. And like the next year, the president at the time, she had it for 12 years. So she was like, "It's time for me to step away, need more time with my family," stuff like that. So we need to find someone to take over Christmas for Children. Pretty much everyone in the room was like, "No way, it's too much. I schedule this, that, and the other, just can't do it." And so somebody else on the board, Barbara, bless her heart, she raised her hand and she was like, "I nominate Shane." And everybody was like, yeah, great. He would be awesome at it. And so, like I said, I can't say no. I was just like, "Sure, let's do it." And Paige looked at me and she was like, "If you'll take president, I'll do VP." And she was like, "As long as you'll do it, I'll do it." And I said the same thing back to her. And I said, "Well, let's go." So I was really only involved with Christmas for Children for like a year before I took it over. That was back 2018, 2019. And I've been president since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so lived in West Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The job is like did they have a branch here, or why were they like, "You have to go to
Yes.
Granbury"?
Yes. So I was working at a branch through college. I hadn't even been in banking that long. I worked at a Finish Line, a shoe store in the mall in Abilene. I was the assistant branch manager, or the store manager. I worked there all through college. And as I started getting closer to my degree, I was like, "Man, I don't know what I want to do. Let me see what banking is like." So I got a part-time teller job, just working in the afternoons before I'd go work at the mall. And when my district manager found out my degree was in finance, he was like, "Hey, we have a banker position open, but you got to move to Granbury." And, we didn't have the girls yet at the time. We didn't even know that they were in our near future or anything like that. So we just went for it and ended up moving to Granbury. I was working for a bigger corporate bank at the time, and I ended up being miserable. I couldn't stand it. So that's kind of what got me into the more community style banking, the relationships. I'm not the type of banker that every customer is just a number and it's all about the profit. It's all about the numbers. That's just not who I am. I grew up in a small town in Breckenridge where everybody knew who the bankers were. They knew who you were. They knew who your family was. You go into the bank on Fridays and get popcorn or cookies every Friday, stuff like that. Yeah. And the hometown bank supported and sponsored everything and was involved in everything. And my biggest thing, my whole goal in life was to be like a good dad and set a good example and be a good role model that my girls could walk around in the community and be like, "Yeah, that's my dad," and be proud of that. And so that's what really drove me to get involved and want to be with a community bank that gives back and really truly means what they say, that it's not just a slogan to try to get your money,
Right.
And so that's what made me go for Christmas for Children and be president. And it's kind of snowballed into many other organizations that I've gotten involved in and everything like that.
When you moved to Granbury, did it feel like a big city to you?
It was definitely bigger than where I went to high school, but compared to Abilene, where I went to college, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a big city. Yeah, it was about the same.
Because for AJ and I, it's just so small town. Because we've lived like AJ's lived New York and San Francisco, and I've lived Minneapolis and LA. So it's always just been big cities. So then to come here, it just feels like small town.
Yeah, you would not like where I went to high school. There's like nothing there.
I mean, you're all involved in the community and everything. I can't stand it when I go out and people like know me.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing I hate about living here is like you go to like HEB, like, which is our grocery store here, and everyone like I can't go to the grocery store with AJ.
Yeah.
Because AJ now being involved with some of the community stuff, everywhere we go, AJ. I'm like, for the love of fuck. I'm like, I just want to get some apples and like some chicken. And like, it's like, that part drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas in LA, or if you're in New York, like once in a while, you'll run into someone you see. And then it's so exciting because that never happens.
Yeah.
But here it's like, doesn't matter where I go.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll like go get my hair cut.
Yeah.
And then I hear from someone else, oh, so-and-so saw you getting your hair cut. And it's like everyone knows all your business.
Yeah. You can't keep anything secret. That's for sure.
That's why I love living behind a gate. Because I'm like, I just, like, no. What I want the world to know, I put out there.
Yeah.
I put plenty of my life out there on social media, and, with this podcast and everywhere for the world to see. So when I'm at home, I'm like, leave me the fuck alone.
It's your piece.
But I'm sure with you probably get that. You probably can't even go anywhere in this town.
No, not really.
Because I get that, and I'm not even involved. You must, like, everywhere you go must be getting
pretty much.
Shane, how's it going?
Yeah. I'm kind of synonymous with Christmas for children. That's for sure. And then the more and more I've gotten involved with like junior leadership and coaching, I coach a lot of the youth sports teams, basketball. I help out with my daughter's softball team, things like that. So yeah.
So before we get into some of that stuff, how do you have time for all this? Like, I think I'm busy.
Yeah, that's always the big question.
Because you have to, I mean, you have a marriage, you have a job, you're coaching, and you're involved with all these other stuff. You just did a haunted house here in Granbury. Like, how do you have time for all of this?
I guess it starts at home with my support system. I mean, Shaylee's awesome. I can't say it enough. Like my wife, if she wasn't supportive of all these things, there's no way I could.
Yeah, you really would have to have someone that's on board at least.
Yes,
I mean, maybe not involved in everything you are, but at least has to be okay with it.
Yeah, at least supportive of it.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I couldn't do it without her. And then, my girls, it was important to me that anything I was involved with, like I wanted them to be involved with too. Because I wanted them, to learn, like, yes, they didn't grow up like I grew up. They've never really wanted for anything. They've never had to struggle for anything like that. But I wanted them to know what that's like, that there are people out there, there are kids out there that don't know where Christmas is going to come from or have dealt with certain issues and, don't have the best home life and things like that. Like I wanted my kids to be grounded and understand and be grateful for the blessings we do have.
Right.
So that's been a big part of it too, is that everything I do, everything I'm involved in, it's not like it's taken a lot of time away from my family because they are involved in it too. They're part of it also.
Yeah. I think it's amazing that you say that you want them not to want for anything, but to also realize how lucky you are. Because, for me, like I grew up extremely privileged. I still to this day I know how lucky I am. And I'm sure there's people out there that think I have no idea and think I have no perspective on like the value of a dollar. And I hear it all the time of the things people say. But I look at my life all the time and I'm like, holy shit, like I'm very, very lucky. I'm very thankful. And that's why I do try to give back and I do try to do things. I just, I've never been the person to ever share it.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm not saying that's what you do. I'm saying, but I see on social media people who will go and they'll donate or they'll do something, but it's like they're not donating or doing something because that's really what they want to do. Right. They're doing it to get the attention on Facebook. They're doing it for the post. They're doing it for the photo op or they're, and I disagree with that. So people probably think, I'm sure, like I said, I've heard, you hear the talk of people, but I know that people think that I don't do anything or that I'm just living this, extravagant life and running around and never not helping or giving back. And it's like, no one has any idea what I've done, who I've helped or what I've, donated to. I just do it. And then I get attention in other ways by, being on this podcast and stirring the pot in different ways. But I think what you're doing and teaching the girls that is so amazing because I also think with the way the world is going with social media and like, and I'm guilty of it too. We all put our best on social media. Yes. We build this facade. We build this, I don't want to say
our perfect life.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's a fake life, but it's the highlight reel. It's the highlight. No,
and when people do go on there and post the sad things or when they're struggling, then it's either like, oh, that's cringy. Why are they putting that out there? You know, you see people who
They're doing it for attention.
They're doing it for attention. You know, if you see people on like social media sitting there crying or they're going through something, yes, you'll have some sympathy, but then you also, you get like,
You
oh,
get
they
hate,
just,
too.
they're crying for help. They just want attention. It's not really that bad. So then social media does become this toxic highlight reel
Yes.
where you really, I mean, if you think about social media, it's just a showing off.
Yeah.
There's ways to use it for business.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to promote in whatever, but in the majority of people, it's to show off. Look
Yeah.
at this vacation I'm going on. Look at this private jet I'm flying on. Look at this new purse that I just bought. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yep.
And again, I'm guilty of it 100%. I've been doing it for how long we've had Instagram. 12 years. So I think too, for these kids to learn that we are so lucky.
Yes.
And to not have to, like you said, they're not needing anything.
Right.
They have everything they need. They probably get stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But to have that perspective is probably a huge game changer that I think maybe a lot of people, you see these kids now that they just live on these iPads and they're living on social media and they're doing all the stuff and they have no clue what's going on in the outside world.
No.
So now to the stuff you're involved in.
Mhm.
What are the organizations here in the community that you're involved in?
So Hood County Christmas for Children, that's the main one. President of that since 2019, 2018 is when I got on the board and all that. The year before last year, we had 1,300 kids that we provided for.
For Christmas for Children.
Yes.
Okay.
Last year, that number jumped 300 kids. We were at 1,600. That was a big increase that we didn't account for. There was no way to plan for that. So when we're looking ahead for this year, I highly doubt our numbers drop back down. They're probably going to remain about the same,
Right.
if not
Or
grow.
go up. Yeah.
So we needed another fundraiser, and that's where the haunted house came in.
Okay, so Christmas for Children. So this is basically, tell me, you correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a Toys for Tots, except for the fact that kids get to make their own Christmas list. So they get to, instead of Toys for Tots, where it's like you show up and it's like, how old, boy or girl, how old, here's your gift, take it and be happy.
Mm-hmm.
This is more, these kids get to write a Christmas list, and then someone in the community or someone, hopefully some of the people listening to this podcast,
Yes.
will quote unquote adopt or pick or sponsor a child, and then they shop off their Christmas list. So the kids are actually getting gifts that they wanted and not just some random gift.
Yes, we start taking applications in August. We have one more sign up coming up this Saturday, and our final one is next Saturday. So till about mid-November, we take applications. The families have to come in. They have to show documentation that they qualify for assistance, that their household income is below federal poverty guidelines, that they're on the free or reduced lunch program at school, the kids are on Medicaid, something to show that they qualify for assistance.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, we don't want to be the toy police, but also we get trusted with donations and funds and support from our community. We have to be good stewards of that. So we have
You
to
get
make
people that shouldn't be doing, like, that are overqualified.
try, yes.
That's kind of fucked
And
up.
then I know. And then it's got to a point even where we started doing applications. It's a Google form. We fill it out all out online and it feeds into a spreadsheet. We even have to, after we're done with a sign up event, disable the sign up because people will send the link out to others and they'll try to send in applications without being qualified
Oh.
and things like that. So we have to literally turn it off when we're done with signups and turn it back on for the next sign up event each time.
Like the day of.
Yes.
I hate when people try to ruin good things.
I know. And it's, like I said, I don't want to be the toy police, but when you're providing for 1,600 kids.
No, you
like,
got
you
and it
have
has to be people that actually need it and deserve it.
Yes. We want to make sure it's going to the families that truly need it and that will benefit the most, but also that we're able to efficiently provide for all of the families that are truly in need. So we have to be good stewards of our resources.
So when, like, all these gifts come in, people don't. So people buy the actual gifts. They bring them then to you. And then how do you get these to the families?
So we do the angel tree cards. So it'll have the 3 gifts the kids ask for. It'll have their first name, age, and then it'll also have like their clothing sizes. And those, if we're lucky, of the 1,600 kids we sign up, about half of them end up out on an angel tree throughout the community. Walmart, most of your local banks, businesses, there'll be various spots. And we're county-wide. It's not just Granbury. We go from Lipan all the way to Crescent.
Wow.
So about half of them go out. On a really, really good year, about half of those get adopted off the trees.
Like you're checking out at Walmart or you're at the
Yes.
bank, and then you see the card.
You can grab it, go shop for the kid, and we put on there to just put all the items in a big bag with the card on it. Don't wrap the gifts or anything like that because everything gets quality controlled. So they'll put the card back on the bag or in the bag, and they can leave it where they got the Angel Tree card, or it'll have different drop-off points that we let them know. But ultimately, it all comes back to Décor Gym, where we keep a spreadsheet and we track which Angel Tree cards are coming in and all that. And for the half of the cards that don't make it out on a tree because we don't have enough trees for them to go on, that's what we raise money for. Those are the ones we shop for and we provide for. And we even set up a little toy store and clothing store in Décor in one of the classrooms. So some of the cards, we have volunteers come in, our board comes in, and we'll shop for them there. And we normally fill the store with items that we buy, or like some local businesses will have toy drives, or toys that are donated, clothing that's donated, things like that. We'll put in there to choose from. And then we always have a shopping list. So they put what they can in the bags, and every bag gets necessities. Something that we make sure every kid gets is like a toothbrush and toothpaste. They all get a blanket. There shouldn't be a single kid that's cold on Christmas morning. All the littles get pajamas. All of the kids get some kind of clothing, hoodies, jackets, things like that are big ones. And then 12 and under, they all get a book. We got a really good group of retired teachers and librarians that get together and collect books all year. And then they make sure all the kids 12 and under get a book for Christmas also. So we have quite a bit that we have to do on our end there. And then the bags that come in from the Angel Trees and the community, like I said, they all go through quality control. We dump the bags out. We double check every single thing we never take anything away from a kid unless it's inappropriate, the wrong size, wrong gender, or just something to that, or used. Everything we give them is new.
Right.
But
so you can buy extra gifts for your kid.
Yes, and we won't take away from them.
As long as it's appropriate. And
yes, yep. And we make sure they all get it. And then we add in the necessities, because usually that's something that they don't get is a necessity. So we make sure they have all those. It gets quality controlled. We check it off and we line them up in the gym. We do this over the course of like 3 weeks, and then we have one big distribution day. And we also do...
so do the parents come in and pick the toys up?
So it's like we want them to maintain their dignity. So they don't have to come in. They don't have to get out of their cars. We do it like a drive-through. So they line up all the way down the Hannaford, down Décor Gym, all the way back to it's like 2 blocks they'll be lined up. And they just come through as a drive-through. They show us the family number that we assign them, and we email out. We radio in. We pull their gifts and things like that, and they pull around to the front of the gym, and we load it all up for them. They never even have to get out.
Wow.
And we also do bikes. So last year we did 250 or so bikes that we gave out to the kiddos. We also partner with Salvation Army Women's Auxiliary Group. They purchase, and we did around 100 beds.
Holy shit.
And then if they get beds, they get a full brand new bed in a bag bedding set. Well, that kind of caught on years ago. And so now a lot of these kids, that's one of their requests every year is for new bedding. So now we do 300 or 400 sets of bedding every year too.
Talk about putting it in perspective and
yes. Some of what they ask for, it opens your eyes quite a bit, because a big one too is we provide any of the kids that are in CPS or foster care. Mm-hmm. We take care of those too, and some of those are kind of hard to read through.
How do you like for the bikes, for instance? How do you decide who gets a bike? Is it random?
So we have a timeline. If you get a bike, you can't get another one for 3 years, because that's about the time we figure you outgrow it.
Right.
A bed, you can get a new bed every 5. So that helps a lot with if numbers are high one year, if we're not able to give some of the kids a bed or a bike, then the next year, all the kids that got one, they're not eligible anymore. So within 2 years, normally we can get everyone that asked for a bed or a bike.
And when they're filling out the cards, like what's the average price range for these gifts? Like if you buy all 3 gifts, like what are you averagely spending?
It really just depends on the age group. It's really easy for the littles because they
Right.
want like action figures or dolls or Barbies, things like that. The hardest ones to shop for is 12 and up, the teenagers, because
They want an
they
iPad.
want an iPhone, they want an iPad, they want a tablet. And I get it. That's what their friends are getting.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. So throughout the year, we do a pretty good job of watching for big sales like Prime deals or Walmart will have big sales throughout the year. And we'll try to bulk buy if we see some tablets severely discounted, headphones, things like that. We try to get them as, the name brand as good as we can kind of things.
Right.
But yeah, that's the hardest. That's the one we need the most help with is the teenagers because even the clothes, everything costs more.
Everything's more. Yeah. So if you see one of these angel trees, you just grab one off the tree. You don't have to talk to them. You just grab it off.
Yep.
But now I guess if you grab one, make sure you follow through because if you don't, if you forget about it or you leave it in your car, now that card is lost.
We have a pretty good tracking system. We have it down. I mean, I have a really awesome VP who is like the queen at spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm.
She knows
That's what you need.
what
Someone
cards are
type
at
A.
what location. She knows they get checked off when they get brought back to us and go to quality control. They get checked off. So we know how many cards are still out there.
Okay.
We know which ones haven't made it back yet. So we do normally, that happens a lot. People forget, something like that happens. I totally get it. So we always do have to submit another print job about halfway through the program to get some of those cards reprinted and back in because they just get lost.
Right. So out of the 1,600 kids, how many do you think you fulfill roughly?
Probably over half.
Wow.
We're lucky if half make it on an angel tree.
So then if they get fulfilled, they get the parents get an email like congratulations. So they're not showing up on that day.
No,
if it doesn't get fulfilled.
Right. If they fill out the application, because they have to be qualified and a board member has to fill our part out and hand it over to them to finish.
Yeah.
If they fill out the application, they're going to be provided for. No question.
You mean the kids will get their
Yeah. Yes.
But what about if you said you got like half of them fulfilled? What about the other half?
That's what we raise money for. We fulfill the rest.
So all 1,600 kids.
Yes, 100%. If
Last
they
year.
fill out the application with us and
Oh,
they hit
shit.
submit, they were qualified. They're going to get provided for.
So last year, like all 1,600 kids got.
Yes.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a pretty awesome, well-oiled machine. I mean, the program's been around since the 90s. We've tweaked it and fine-tuned it to work more efficiently. They used to fill out paper applications, and someone had to type it into a spreadsheet.
Holy shit. Thank God.
That was
See?
one of the first
Work
things
smarter,
that we
not
changed.
harder.
Yes, that was one of the first things we changed. Google Forms goes right into a spreadsheet. Like that saved so much mistakes, time, and labor. Like that was a big thing. But yeah, if they fill out an application and hit submit, they're going to be provided for.
That's amazing. So when is the cutoff for people if they're needing, help? What is the cutoff date to get your application in?
It's always like mid-November. This year, I think the second Saturday of November is our last sign-up opportunity. I think it's like the 8th or 9th or something.
Okay.
So it's always right in that area.
And for people that if someone wants to help or if they want to, do you call it sponsor a kid, adopt a kid?
Yeah, they can adopt a kid. So we try to have we will have the angel tree cards out by Monday of Thanksgiving week. We always have them out by then.
And when do they have to have the gifts in by?
So we ask that they come back by the end of the first week of December, because if we wait too long, we've already reprinted that card and had to fill it ourselves, because it's such a big job with that many kids. We can't push it to the deadline.
Right. So if people are listening and they want to help out, they can either donate money or if they wanted to do the shopping, they could maybe shop online and have it shipped to you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
All that information is on our Facebook page. That's the best place to go. It's got our PayPal link, our Venmo information to give financially, but it also has our address where you can have items shipped to, things like that.
If they wanted to buy on Walmart.com or Amazon, they could just have it sent to you guys.
Hood County Christmas for Children.
Okay. Well, I'm going to link all of that in the show notes so that if anyone wants to, any listeners, this is your your hint.
I mean, unless you
Do it.
hate kids or Christmas.
Yeah.
but-
What the fuck, people? No, I'm just kidding. But if you are able to, totally check this out. I think this is, what kid should wake up on Christmas and not have
Exactly.
presents? So that's amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Much better person than I am. But thank you for coming on here and thank you for sharing all
I'm
that.
honored.
Like I said, I'm going to share everything in the show notes. And if anyone has any questions, reach out. Please donate. And I can't believe it's already the holiday season.
I know this whole year is flown by. I can't believe we're already here. And once the program kicks off, we have next month, November, we have our Run Rudolph 5K and 1K event. That's our last fundraiser, and right after that, we roll right into Christmas for Children.
Okay, well, we'll link that information in
Okay.
the show notes as well. So
Yep.
if anyone wants to get signed up for that.
Yep.
I'm more of a walker than a runner
Yeah,
when it
I
comes to
don't
these
run.
things.
Yeah.
I don't run unless I'm being chased. All right, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And for everyone else, I'll see you next Tuesday.